Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. This is not a story I really want to tell. It's one of those stories I need to tell. Sarah Baartman um, was an African woman, a woman from South Africa, born in the late 1700s, and she was either captured or traded or convinced to get on a boat and go to Europe, where she was paraded around for the rest of her life. Sarah Baartman was also known as the Venus Hottentot because she had a big, large, round behind. And she was displayed all over Europe, and eventually she died in Paris. Displayed sometimes in a cage, sometimes on a leash. Scientific experiments. There were caricatures of her and paintings of her that made her behind look larger than it was, but it was the thing of curiosity for these freak shows. Sarah Baartman and I have a lot in common. I was never caged. I was never carried around. I was never a part of a freak show. But because I have a large round behind, I was ridiculed throughout my childhood. And you would think that learning the history of this woman would make people say, oh, wow. Instead, I was called Hottentot and made fun of by my siblings, by my neighbors, by kids at school, by old men. I remember once I was about 8 years old. I was going to store with my brother, who was 9 and a half. And it was the first and last time I wore shorts. Maybe not the first. I probably wore shorts up until then, but it was the first time going to the store without an adult. And we were going to the store together. And these old men were out in front of the store. And they said something about my behind. And my brother looked at them and said, Mister, that's my sister, and she's 8. He understood that they were objectifying me in a way that made me something of their desire. And throughout my life, it's been this thing of, oh, curiosity, and oh my goodness, and oh, because you have this little tiny waist. And I've had people come up and say, is that real? And what are you talking about? And so for many, many years, I learned to detest that part of my body. And then one day I was in a store with a friend. It was actually a shop. It was a wholesaler shop, and I have a friend who owns a boutique. And so we were in this wholesaler shop, and on the wall was this not styrofoam, it was foam. It was padding, and it was shaped like a behind. I was like, what is that? And the woman who owned the store said, it's butt padding. And I said, what are you talking about, butt padding? She said, this is my biggest selling item. I've been selling it for decades. What? Oh, so the people who are making fun of me are walking around trying to be like me? And suddenly there's all these operations to enlarge people's behinds. And I'd see these people and I go, why are they doing this? Do they know how people treat them? And suddenly this thing that was ugly became a thing that people would subject themselves to surgery to have. And I thought, what a crazy, crazy world. Well, obviously I've gotten over all of the feelings about it, but it was a thing. And I think about Sarah Baartman, whose body remained on display. Her skeleton and a bust of her body remained on display until the 70s in Paris in a museum. And it was not until 2002, I think, when Nelson Mandela petitioned the government of France and said, send her body home. And there was a ceremony, and she was buried among her own people. The things we do because someone is beautiful in a different way. You know, those styles of clothes that English women wore with the big round behind, that was an attempt to emulate this African bud. That is a thing of beauty. And while Sarah was carried around, displayed, and treated like some kind of freak, others were trying to copy that look. And the same goes today. Not just for your look, but for your talent, for your ability, for your heart, your gut, your courage, your authenticity. And what people can't copy, they'll try to put down. I am proud of who I am and how I'm made. But to think that we use something as simple as a body part to feel different or to establish superiority to someone else is the insanity that I hope we're all trying to work out of. I know I am. I'm proud of me, and I can still love you.